questions have been levelled about the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development research, which found that between 2000 and 2014, some $78 billion worth of gold from South Africa had been misinvoiced. New research commissioned by the South African Chamber of Mines rubbished those findings, and a second report, released at the Mining Indaba on Tuesday, cleared up the remaining loose ends. The problem is that the UNCTAD report has been used in the Mbeki report on illicit financial flows.
The accusation, because it ends up being an accusation, is that the South African gold mining industry in general would have been responsible for the continuous systemic smuggling, and the report uses the word smuggling, of gold year on year to the tune of R1 trillion under the nose of the South African authority.
From this latest research, it does appear that the UNCTAD researchers didn't do their job properly, and people are now latching onto data that is inaccurate. As a consequence, several initiatives are now in place to provide more transparency in the mining industry.
This issue led to the base erosion and profit shifting initiative that was led by the OECD on behalf of the G20. And this entire set of actions, as they are known, is aimed at looking at coherency across jurisdictions, transparency, and basically reaffirming the standards that would typically apply to international tax.
Another initiative, which has the support of the International Council on Mining and Metals, is also focused on tax.
You want to reconcile what companies are paying against what governments are receiving. And if there's a gap, that gap needs to be explained. And the idea of EITI, the Extractives Industry Transparency Initiative, which is supported by us and by a lot of other stakeholders, is to encourage enough disclosure to oblige that reconciliation and hopefully to net the gap to zero.
With enough transparency and data easily available, everyone involved in the mining value chain, from mines to government and everyone in between, can be more accountable to their stakeholders. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN in Cape Town, South Africa.
Now, staying in the country, participants at the annual Mining Indaba in Cape Town are upbeat that commodity prices will turn around this year and return a good profit. Well, there is a talk of green shoots, which of course is an extractive industry coming out of the doldrums. Here are some of their views.
The mood is better, companies are investing and profitability is returned. Still some questions around the platinum sector, profitability there. Concerns about the iron ore sector still going strongly at the moment, but the iron ore price is set to collapse, most people are saying. So I think that's the concern. And I think where the shining light is, it's probably gold. I think still there we're seeing gold companies making good profits at the current level. And I've got to say the gold outlook with global uncertainty remains strong.
Companies are struggling. South Africa accounts for about 80% of primary platinum supply, and the price it's too low. Consequently, we are bullish on the platinum price, and we're actually bullish on the companies, despite them having very thin margins at the moment. But it's this lack of potential new supply, underinvestment, which leads us to believe that the price must adjust upwards.